Good morning, Mizzou fans. Gabe DeArmond here, Tuesday, March 4th, p.m. in the a.m., brought to you by our friends at Cornerstone Family Medicine. You can check them out, physical locations in Mexico and Fulton, Missouri. But the easier option is online, cornerstonefmclinic.com. They offer in-person and virtual memberships anywhere from $22 to $55 a month. You're going to save an urgent care visit, an ER visit. You're going to have an affordable plan that avoids or can replace your expensive insurance. So check them out. They can arrange labs anywhere. Again, physical locations in Fulton and Mexico, but all across the state of Missouri. Check out cornerstonefmclinic.com. So today we're going to look at what could end Missouri's basketball season. This is where we're at in the year, right? We got a week left in the regular season, but tournament play starting. There's only two more games where a loss doesn't send you home, whether that's from the SEC tournament or for good from the NCAA tournament. So we're at the part of the year where we're nitpicking and we're looking for, hey, what's the thing? What's the Achilles heel? For Missouri, I think it's pretty easy. It's all related to interior play and mostly defensive interior play. Stealing some numbers from Drew King here that he sent me last night, of course, our basketball beat writer who is on Mizzou Hoops every single day, told me last night over the last 9 games, 17% of the points allowed by Missouri have come via second chance points. Everybody knows they got absolutely beat up on the offensive glass by Vanderbilt, not one of the better rebounding teams in the SEC. It's been an issue. An even bigger issue, teams are just scoring inside so much against Missouri. Arkansas had 44 points in the paint. Vanderbilt topped that with 48 points in the paint. From 2-point range over the last 10 games, teams are shooting 56% against Missouri. To give you an idea, that number would rank 34th in the country for the season, which means top 10% of all of college basketball. Like if that was an offensive number for a team, that team ranks 34th in the country in 2-point field goal percentage. Missouri, for example, ranks 19th at 57.1. For the season, Missouri giving up 50% from 2-point range. So that means over the last 10 games, it's 56%. It means over the first, 18, it was probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 46%. Last 10 games, teams have improved their 2-point field goal percentage by 10 points against Missouri. Even more alarming, 119 out of 183 at the rim. That's layups and dunks, basically. That means Missouri's giving up 12 layups or dunks per game. It's way too much. And yes, some of it's come in transition, off turnovers and all that. But Missouri is getting beat up inside defensively. That's the issue that I think needs to get fixed. Now, look, here's the silver lining. Evan Miyakawa and Ken Palm both have Missouri as the 6th best offensive team in the country. There are nights where Missouri is so good offensively that that's not going to matter. They can go out and score 100 points. They can hit 15 three-pointers in a game, and it doesn't really matter if the other team gets 14 layups because they just can't keep up. But when you get in a game where the shots aren't necessarily falling at that rate, where, say, instead of 100, you're scoring 80 or 75, you can't be giving up 65% at the rim, 56% in the paint. It's just not good enough. So it'll be interesting to see how Dennis Gates fixes that. The easiest solution is Josh Gray and Trent Pierce just start playing better. Maybe Aiden Shaw gets thrown in there. I'm not going to talk about the Trent Burns thing because I don't see any realistic way that is happening if he hasn't played in the last couple games. So be something to keep an eye on against Oklahoma. Mark Mitchell and Missouri dominated Oklahoma in the paint. They should do that again. If they don't, it's certainly a cause for concern. That game, 6 o'clock in Norman tomorrow night. Drew King's going to be there for us. I'll be back tomorrow morning with another edition of PM in the AM, brought to you by our friends at Cornerstone Family Medicine.